10,
oh.
9, 8, 7, 6. I'm so happy to be out this year. 4, 3, 2, 1.
I can't do it!
Finally! Out of this stupid year.
I can't do it!
Y'all are really fun.
Oh shit! You're about to get the metal part! Open it! Do the metal part! Open it to the metal part!
Finally out of this retarded. Oh my god.
Bro, I'm doing it the right way though.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Jankaga's World. So you're probably like, whoa, I'm not used to seeing you in glasses. And I totally agree with you. However, that's a whole other video, which I will likely film, if not by today. So if you see me in the same outfit, you know why. Or by tomorrow, because there's a whole nother story behind that. But why am I excited today? Make sure to go ahead and keep on watching, because guess what today is? It's Dream Board Day. I'm super excited. I always look forward to this every year. And so if you're interested to see what that all means, definitely keep on watching. Before we get started on dream boards, real quick, I want to give a shout out to the unknown neighbors that I met on Nextdoor. And not really met because, you know, COVID and all that, but I did a porch pickup on 2 different people. I had another person reach out, but then I didn't hear back afterwards, which is fine. A couple people asked, I put out a little ad or a little article, whatever, post on, not article, I put a post up on Nextdoor, and I said, hey, my family and I are going to be doing dream boards soon. Does anybody have any old magazines or anything that I can get? And so, like I said, a couple of people replied, and 2 of them I DM'd directly, or they DM'd me, and I went and picked up the magazines. Don't worry, I disinfected. But today is the day we will be cutting them up, going into them, and some of them were like travel, and a couple others are like more, I think it was like home decor or whatever. And I said, that's fine, because what we do is we tear things up, cut them up, create our own words. Like, it's fine, we can make it happen. My daughter actually started on New Year's Eve. She started like making it pretty, making it colorful. I'm gonna capture a video, I'll include it here, and then at the end we will present what it is that we created. But I'm excited to share, so stay tuned. You guys, okay, so I'm not gonna do an intro because I already did that yesterday, and the goal was to have everything done yesterday, but we got started a little late, and therefore we finished. I was also falling asleep trying to look through magazines. So we're just gonna go ahead and present to you our boards today, but before we go any further and me blabbering like I usually do, we're gonna go ahead and let Janessa present her board, because I have mine as well, but I'll go ahead and allow her to go back to what she was doing, and mine might take a little bit longer. So
There's a lot more stuff.
yeah, so let me go ahead and explain. Janessa is still understanding what a dream board or vision board is, so she was a little nervous about coming on camera to present, because she's like, I don't really know, I just kind of put stuff on there. But I guess I can kind of do a little Q&A with her, like why she put that, and maybe she can explain to us the meaning of it. So let's go ahead and get started. So Janessa, you want me to hold it for you and then you can point. So pretend this is like when you're in school. It's like a presentation.
I did the rainbow because of this little sticker right here.
Let's see. So the sticker says, sparkle like a unicorn. And so what does the rainbow represent to you?
It's like something lucky.
So like Lucky Charms. So like, okay, sparkle.
And I put this because I just wanted to, and
The birds.
yeah.
So one thing she doesn't know, because she went upstairs after she was finished, my husband saw it last night. He goes, so I'm guessing Janessa wants birds. And it's funny because I've been wanting a cockatoo forever. I used to have a cockatiel, but these are really cute too. These are little lovebirds. What's this right here?
It's be happy, smile, and send love.
It's basically spread kindness. Is that what I'm hearing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then this one says same thing, be happy and smile.
And then I put this one since what happened and stuff.
With George Floyd.
Yeah.
And so this was actually a proud mom moment because she did this all on her own, and she actually found it through the magazine and decided to cut it out. And so I love that she incorporated the photos with, you know, the natural hair. And it kind of goes to show how what's happened in society has really affected the kids, regardless of what we think, whether we think they're listening or not. That's why it's always important to really promote and discuss what, as parents, it's our duty to make sure that we're not spreading hate, right? Because the kids, at the end of the day, the kids are still listening. Now, there we go. Now the camera can see it.
And then I put this because I wanted to since I'm going to school still.
Yeah, she'll be going back to school this week.
And then...
You know, I thought this was hair. I thought it was hair on the apple.
I just drew something. And then I put this here because I like dogs. And then I put these stickers because they look like confetti.
That's true. It's like little glitter confetti.
And then this right here is supposed to be a dog, but it didn't work out.
Looks like a black cat, or it could be a black Frenchie.
And then I just put my name.
Oh, and then right here it says Black Lives Matter, fist up. That's cool.
I don't know what I did here.
Looks like a mermaid.
It looks like a fish. And then I did this because it says sparkle. Then I did little shiny things. And
Cool.
I think that's it.
Well, thank you for sharing. So what are your goals this year in 2021? Just to finish school strong?
I don't know. Why is there an orange under your bed?
Oh my gosh, that is your papa. My husband likes eating these cuties, and apparently one rolled under the bed. Oh my gosh, that must have just happened because that was not there yesterday. Dang, she busted me out. No. All right, you guys. Well, that's Janessa's dream board or vision board. One thing that I've been trying to switch from saying dream board is more vision board, because to me vision is more reality. And although I think we want to be careful, because sometimes when we think of dreams, a dream can also mean reality, but it can also mean something that's like when someone says, oh, in your dreams, like it's never going to happen, it's in your dreams. So I think that the reason why I want to start using the word vision board is to really be able to say, this is what I see, like I envision. Sometimes you might think, oh, it's just in my dreams, like it'll be a dream to finish, but it may not necessarily happen. So we want to try to be careful how you use it. So I don't want to like correct anybody. If you call it dream board, that's fine. I called these a dream board for many years, but I think I'm starting to switch my lingo to call it a vision board. But if a dream board still means for you a vision that you can accomplish, then that's fine too. Thank you very much. You can go back to cleaning the loft, and then you can go back to your gaming. She has pretty much today is her last day before tomorrow she hits reality again. So my vision board, let me tell you that there's a lot happening. I was gonna go with the bigger board, but the way that it sits in my room, it's hard to position it, and it takes up a lot of wall real estate. So I decided to go with the smaller one, and I did a two-sided. The front is kind of what I'm focusing on this year. The back is like ongoing long-term goals. Some of the things in the front, of course, they're ongoing for in life, but I just wanted to jump on here and first give a disclaimer that there's a lot happening because it's a smaller board. But it's funny because after I was all said and done, it's like organized chaos, and it's kind of how it is in my head. Like, I feel like my brain does not stop thinking. Even when I go to sleep, sometimes I'll wake up with ideas and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know, is this God talking to me, trying to steer me down the right path? But I feel like in those movies where they show like the loop-de-loops and it's like a big old maze, but at the end of the day you still get to that destination that God put in front of you. I try to do this quickly so that this video isn't super duper long. But here we have 2021 vision board. And so first and foremost, Jesus Christ. When I got this magazine, it was a National Geographic magazine by the neighbor that donated the magazines to us, and it was something about the life of Jesus Christ, and it had this really pretty design. And so if you notice, it says J and then C intertwined, and so definitely I had to cut that out. This was actually a whole like rosary, but I cut it out so that it basically, I didn't want to lose the crown because it has the cross at the top. And then of course you have Virgin Mary with Jesus, baby Jesus here. So I wanted to capture that because ultimately God is why any of this can happen. Now, also before I jump in, has a little evil eye inside. I don't know if that's what it's meant to be, but I believe strongly, which is why I carry my evil eye, that even though people say, well, if you believe in God, then why do you believe in like crystals and that sort of thing? I feel like God is the creator, and so to me, if a crystal is something that you want to believe in and put faith in, and the evil eye to me is a protection, I'm gonna believe that, and Jesus is going to accept me in believing that. It's not negative. It's not, to me, it's not anything. Sometimes people say, oh, that's like devil worshiping. I don't believe that at all. So at the end of the day, if it's there to make you motivated and empower you to do better, then by all means do what you got to do. I'm going to start with, it's almost like a tier structure. And the reason why I want to talk about how this all worked out for me, when I first started, I mapped everything out before I glued, right? So I started here, family, home, and then I noticed I had career up front and center, and then I had hobbies, and then my health and beauty down here. And I really that bothered me because I'm like, no. If I'm putting this down, to me, this is in the order that everything has to go, and in the order of how it should represent and represent me when it comes to my vision. And I can't have career being up here. Although career a lot of times makes the world go round, because at the end of the day, that's money, and that's money in your pocket, but it can't be your end all be all. And I think that I tend to do that a lot. Like especially during this COVID time, I have been one that I understand the role I play in my position at work, and I haven't taken much, if any, of that COVID leave that our job offered us. And being on this vacation, it's so amazing, and it feels so good to say, my kids are going back to work. I'm low-key sad because that's back to reality for everybody, but it makes me feel good to know that I'm still gonna have at least 2 weeks where I'm home with them and mom. And without work, without, oh my gosh, my computer, oh my gosh, I gotta get to the phone call, you know, I can't make breakfast, hold on, I'll make breakfast in like an hour, I'll go to you know, it's been this constant thing that I've managed to work. But and my husband is guilty of this too. Like, we tend to give our jobs everything because we want people to understand that we are good employees and that we are destined for greatness, and we want to be able to be at the forefront if anybody was to ever think about a job opportunity. Obviously, yes, right? You want to show that you're dedicated, but we also can't lose sight of family, and that's why I had to make sure to make that move when it came to where it's at on my board, because it's important that before I can do good at this career here and education, etc., I have to take care of myself in order to give my full self here. So that's why I wanted to talk over and kind of explain why I did that. Jumping right in. So first we have family, then you see we have home. A family makes a home, which is why home wasn't before family. Because at the end of the day, even if I don't have a house, God forbid, knock on wood, like thank goodness I have a roof over my head. But if I didn't have a house, and if I'm having to live out of my car, I still have my family to worry about. And so that's what I mean by family. And so right here I put family and home. And of course, love is at the top. You have to have love and love each other and be able to, you know, have a good and positive life. Also, budget. Budget is definitely something, one, as a family, we need to learn that we need to stick to our budget. Two, obviously we want to budget so that we can accomplish goals that we have in renovating and things that we want to do around our home. Our biggest thing this year, and I know this has been on my board for several years, but this year we have a plan in place and we have an idea of how we're going to tackle that. So we're going to work on paying off debt. Now for me, my student loans is one of the bigger piece of that pie for me, but our biggest focus is going to be paying off any like consumer debt, that sort of thing, credit cards, etc., so that our main focus can be our home, our car, and my student loan debt. And since I don't have to technically pay until I believe it's April for student loan debt, which it would be wise for me to pay now because it's not that much interest, or it's 0 interest, I believe, if I do that. But I also want to make sure to focus that money on those that have higher interest so that I can get that stuff done and out of the way. So of course, in the process of all this, we want to make sure to stay grounded, and that's for everybody in the family. And so family wise, I put queen because to me, I consider myself the queen in my household. JAG, I put Queen JAG. These are my initials from before I got married. And so that's why I put that. I saw that and it was like a little jewelry case. I cut it out and just kept the initials. And I put here smart mom. And basically smart as in I'm educated, but also I want to be a smart mom because I want to make sure to be smart about life in general, and then of course have some savings at the end. Once all this is all said and done, we want to make sure to focus on savings. And this of course ties everything in. It's savings takes care of your family, savings helps keep your home afloat, and having savings, it focuses on your health because now you're not as stressed. And of course having a little bit of savings on the side to treat yourself is where the beauty comes in, right? And then of course Angel, I put Angel here because my son Angel, he'll be turning 12 in heaven this upcoming January 5th. So if this video goes up after that, then happy birthday to Angel. So that's that. And then get happy. So get happy kind of all ties in, which is why I put it so close to health and beauty. You know, be happy with your family, obviously your home. And then we always have, I mean, I don't know about everybody, but I'm pretty sure at least 75% of us always want to focus on our health. So basically, good enough to eat. So you want to focus on good foods, healthier foods. This has been my dream board, vision board for years. I was gonna put 35, but I'm like, I just want to get to a point where I at least know that it's accomplished, something that, or excuse me, it's something obtainable. So I put 25 pounds here. So you can see how it's all sort of flowing into health and beauty now. And so one of the things, and this is in the center of all, is mental health. This is important, which is why for me, I want to focus on being mindful, taking moments out of the day. When my watch says breathe, maybe I need to actually listen to it. And so I want to do that a little more. So going back up here to home, obviously quarantine, that's everybody's life right now. It's everybody's world. So I just put quarantine because we're staying home. My pups all day long. No place like home. Obviously, there's no place like home when it comes to quarantining. You got to just stay home. And your home is your own, right? So this is why I put no place like home. And then here I put, it's not what you have, it's what you give. And that goes to show, it doesn't matter how big your home is, as long as you're there and you're willing to help others out, then that's all that really matters. And then I put here bucket of puppies, again tying into the dog theme. And then downtime. Your home should be, I know right now with a lot of us, we can't really take away the fact that home also is your workplace, but have the point where you focus on downtime. For me, that's a big thing. I want to be able to focus on having that downtime and disconnecting, which is why I said here, the power to power down. So have that power to say, okay, I'm walking away, I'm done. Don't even check emails, just you're done. And that's one thing that I've been struggling on this vacation is I don't want my inbox to be filled with all these emails, but at the same time, when I find myself checking my emails to clear it out, like I get stuck on, oh, what's going on? Oh, I gotta stay in the loop. I should probably read this because I want to make sure I know this when I get back. And so it's hard. I know a lot of us do that. And then of course I put sweet dreams because you want to have sweet dreams once you power down and relax. I also put on here girl power, because girl power, at the end of the day, it's the power that we have to take care of our home, you know, our health, beauty, etc. And then down here, this all kind of flows in together with home and health and beauty. So I put right here, treat yourself. So I want to make sure to treat myself with not only focusing on my mental health, but my health overall. And also I put her just because me, I'm a she, her, and hers. And then beauty, so just overall, like, this is focusing on my beauty, just all tied in. And then I really like this quote. This is a quote by Benjamin Van Diver. It says, you have to pick your daring moments, but you'll never be happy with the space that's too safe. And that totally ties into my goal. If you watched my Coffee Chats with Jen video this last week, I talked about how I'm going to be going back to law school. And so I was finding myself that I definitely wanted to focus on me this past year of 2020. But my home has become too safe. Like, it's time to step out. Okay, I've had a break. Now what? You know, let's get on to the next goal. And so that's what this is all about. And then of course, we're gonna tie it into career and hobbies. So you're like, why is Kamala Harris like all up in the middle of your page or your vision board? Well, one, I put on here, she was ready. And this is not just she was ready, like to do what she needed to do for Kamala, but I want this is almost like something to aspire to. She's an attorney. She was, you know, district attorney here in California. And so one of the things that I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to take on that role of wanting to become an attorney. And so that's kind of why I went with that. Also, think happy thoughts. Okay, so I know that law school is going to be hard. But if I keep saying law school is going to be hard, law school is going to be hard, just that, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm getting myself into, which is kind of where I've been at. Think happy thoughts. Think about how many people am I going to get to know. Like, I'm going to build my network regardless if I like it or not. I'm going to get to know new people. When I finish my grad school, like, I have people that I still talk to this day. Shout out to those ladies that I do. And so it's one of those things, like, think happy thoughts. Like, at the end of the day, I'm going to have a law degree. Like, what? So I'm trying to shift my vision and my way of thinking, my thought process. And then before I jump ahead, I do want to focus on the part where Kamala Harris said, she was quoted in the magazine, justice. It's not about benevolence or charity. It's about every human being's God-given right. And so long story short, that's where we're at, and people need to realize. And so I'll jump ahead to, before I get to the career part, I'll jump ahead to hobbies. So hobbies kind of ties into what I want to do as a career, but I wanted to bring them all together down here because they all kind of mesh in with each other. And so hobbies, rise above, right? The goal is to rise above. A lot of what I've been doing on my own time, on my social media, is spreading the message, focusing on the Black Lives Matter movement, being an activist in my own way, making sure that that's what our culture represents, and of course, my hobbies, workout, that kind of ties back into health and beauty. And while doing all this though, I want to make sure to explore. You know, you gotta still live life, explore. Ongoing travel goals, this right here, the Northern Lights, I'm gonna make it there one day. I don't know when, but I'm gonna make it happen. And that's like a long-term goal. I would love to go to Cuba now that they opened the borders to go to Cuba. That is definitely on my bucket list. Two of my cousins are from Cuba. Well, they weren't born there, but they're half Mexican, half Cuban. And so they've gone, and the pictures were amazing. Everything looks so cool. And like, I would love to experience that one day. And then I also want to go to the Caribbean. Like, I've gone to Mexico, I don't know how many times, but I've never gone anywhere tropical, even in Mexico, but I would love to go to the Caribbean. And right here it says, may all your dreams come true. That's what I keep telling myself in life. But at the same time, while doing all that, I got to take care of business and make a plan so that I can make it here and be able to travel. And then of course here I put bright future because I am very determined that I'm going to continue to grow my channel. So I have Canon, shout out to Canon that I'm filming on that right now as of at this moment. And then you'll see the little YouTube play button right here because I want to make it happen. I want to grow my YouTube channel. I want to hit 1K subs, get my 4,000 hours of watch time, and I put on there, I got this. So 2021, we're gonna make it happen. And back up here to career. Now why I put this right in the middle is because a lot of what I'm doing on this channel, although it's a lifestyle channel, I include a lot of fun stuff, random stuff, whatever I'm feeling like I want to record that day. One thing I want you to understand is that I want to really build on my law school journey, because that will ultimately be part of something that I want in my career. When everything's all said and done, I would love to be not so much a life coach, but kind of like a motivator, like a motivational speaker. Maybe if it's not on a speaking scale, maybe do more like school. Like I would love to be able to be like that kind of coach where I go to the schools and talk about it and talk to young girls. Like that's the one thing, like young girls, women of color. No, I want to be that motivator and inspire other women that anything's possible. And so that's kind of why I'm like building my platform. I figure if I can't do anything in the community right now, or I won't have time to do any volunteering because I'm going to be so busy with law school, this is going to be my way to give back. And so that's kind of why I wanted to bring this and put it, not only is it a hobby, I'm not getting paid to do this right now, but I would like to eventually turn it into that opportunity. And so that's part of my vision. And then back up here to career. So high aspirations in my career, obviously be an attorney. That's not something everybody just says, oh yeah, I just want to go to school for another 4 years, like on top of the 10 years I've already been going back, you know, like little by little. So high aspirations is kind of where I look at it. I also put on here LinkedIn because LinkedIn is huge. If you are working on building your network and you don't have a LinkedIn, please get one. It's such a great opportunity to have. Also, I put on here education because, as we know, going back to law school, that's an education, but I also want to label myself as a boss babe, making it happen. And I have an agenda to make that happen along with the vision, which as I kind of shared here regarding the YouTube side of things. And over here I put can't stop, won't stop, because it's just, I'm not going to stop. And my goal is law school, to be a L1 student, L1 meaning law student year 1, in fall of 21. So that's my goal. And then at the bottom of this, like it says, it takes guts and heart, because one, I'm going in and I pray that I can get this done and graduate and pass the bar, but heart, because at the end of the day, like if I didn't care, like it takes caring, and care comes from your heart. So, and then I got this little sticker that says you got this. And then for the grand reveal of my long-term goals, if all this can happen, especially this part here, you know, they say, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Well, in 5 years, I see myself passing the bar. But if I were to say long-term goals, like 10 years, my goal would be, of course, to have my own law firm, whichever route I decide to take in law. I want to work for myself and build that legacy for my family. But with all that, my goal would be to have that home. My future home would be a home that's large enough. Everybody wants a big house, right? But mine would be large enough so that my husband insists that he would love to have that home where everybody congregates when it comes time for the holidays, especially. And so with that means you need the space. And so with both of our visions together, I don't know if this is his vision, but I know it's mine. And so my goal, and I was like, these pictures are so big, but this is totally like what I envision in my mind when I think of like my future home, or my dream home, really. And one thing I want to give shout out to my good friend, my fellow queen, AJ, is that she's one of the reasons why it inspired me to do this, because I figured I already have my home, like I already bought my house, like I'm happy with my house. Trust me, like we all fit, like we make it work. Is it my dream home? No, but it's definitely a roof over my head, and it's our little humble abode. And so I never really thought to put my house, because I'm like, well, I have a house, so I don't want to sound, you know, I don't want to seem like, why put that on there if it's not something I'm going to be doing this year? But my really good friend, she purchased her home this year, and she put her home on her board, and not lying to you guys, her backyard looks almost identical to the backyard she had on her board. And the reason why I share this is because and I say we because she would show me what house they're like looking at, or what house they're really praying on, and it fell through, or they got outbid, etc. And then all of a sudden, this house that they're in now, it was like meant for them, you know, just the way it all worked out. Like, I don't want to put their business out there, but everything worked out. And even though they didn't even think they were going to get this house, and they did. And then when she says, Chica, when I tell you that the picture almost looks like the picture on my board, that has stuck with me. And so that's why I'm like, okay, well, maybe this isn't like something that'll happen this year. Not saying it can't, but realistically, I know my budget is to pay stuff off. I don't have money like that to buy a home that looks like this. But as long as I keep it on my board, you never know. It's that working hard here to get to the ultimate goal here. And so I'll share with you real quickly. So my future home would have this lovely entryway where you could put all your, you know, your lovely little whatever trinkets or, you know, home decor. So I would always wanted a nice big wide entryway. And then the kitchen, do you see this kitchen? Like, maybe not these specific colors, but just the big, just the hood part, and like the space. And I mean, they have enough space to put 2 KitchenAid devices. Like mine, I barely have enough space for the one in the corner. And so it's just amazing. And look how big like this stove is, and it's just amazing. This looks like a commercial kitchen, but I promise you this was in a home magazine. And then the backyard, like this, the pool, I would definitely opt for a lighter colored pool because this is kind of creepy. But just the greenery and the decor, so that when I look out my window, this is also another vision. I love big open windows. I love natural lighting, and just the decor, and like with the big candle, and just everything just kind of ties in. That's the one thing why I love watching the Kardashians so much. Their homes are house goals for me. Khloe's is one that I'm just like, and every time they show her in her backyard, I'm just like, the structure, it gives me these vibes. I love, 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 love. That's why when people go, why do you even watch it? I'm like, because those are like goals. Like, I don't see myself ever being a Kardashian on that level, but hey, if I can have a little piece of the pie, why not? And so just giving you kind of ideas. And then of course the bedroom, like that is always something I would love, like just to have enough space where I can have natural flowers in my own bedroom. And I mean, well, my husband and I, and just the space to be able to organize so that you have so much space that it doesn't look cluttered. And that's what I hate, is that when our room looks cluttered. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There you have it. So here we are, 2021 vision board. So I just really want to thank all of you so much for watching. I know this video is probably a little long also, but I just really wanted to share. I did the same thing last year, and hey, if my whole video is getting watched, great. If not, then maybe I can at least inspire you to, you know, do your own board. I just want to say again, I wish all of you a happy new year, happy 2021, and let's see what goals can get crushed this year. All right, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit like, comment down below anything that you saw here that you liked, or comment on any of your future goals for this year. Make sure to hit subscribe, and also hit the little notification bell so you can be notified of future videos to come. But all in all, thanks so much for watching. Bye guys.